This is the Sligo Road stretch, and this is one of these stretches where I could actually draw today, right down there. The other place I could draw today is over there on Broad Meadow. However, it was incredibly hard through here yesterday. The weights were terrible, and that is something that I need to avoid today to stay in this competition. The other place where I could draw is right back up there, and that is the pegs behind where we are actually staying in our lodges, and that is the Killy Hevlin. So there are 4 pegs there, and that is where the weights were slightly better yesterday. There was an 11 kilo there as well. So I'm chasing a weight. I don't want to be down here according to yesterday's results. Obviously things could change today, it could fish much better down here, but on paper I'm looking at hoping to draw the Killy Hevlin. Well, on paper that couldn't have gone any better. We wanted to draw the Killy, and I've actually drawn peg 4, which is the downstream end peg, which is what threw up 11 kilo yesterday. So that's obviously a massive confidence boost. And the other added advantage is that that peg is actually bang in front of our lodge. So I'm going to be sat on the jetty, hopefully catching fish, and Dad will be able to sit in the lodge where it's nice and warm, watching me. The perfect scenario. Well, this is a very different setting. How about that? It's a little bit different from yesterday when we were making 4 trips through the woods at Killardees and parking the van up at different places. We've got everything we could want here. As you can see, I'm fishing off a jetty. This is, in the match, it's actually peg 4. However, this is in front of chalet or lodge number 3, and that is where we're staying. So this is a peg that I actually practiced, or I didn't really practice, I just fished it on Sunday, and I caught some fish. I only fished for about 3 hours, and I caught plenty of fish, and it did throw up a weight yesterday. So just so you know where we are, this is peg 4, so next to me is peg 3, peg 2, and then there's another angler. I don't know if he's on the natural bank, I don't think it's a natural bank or some sort of a jetty up there, and that is it. We're just the 4 anglers here. That's the swim, and it's flowing that way. So as you can see, I have got the downstream end peg, which looks brilliant. This threw up 11 kilos yesterday, so we know there's some fish there. However, I have heard, just been told that just up there where that jetty is, up there was a lad pleasure fishing there yesterday, and he had a ridiculous number of hybrids. He wasn't in the match, so it does show that there are some hybrids on this stretch. So I'm going to fish quite confidently today. What you know, like I say, I mean, festival fishing, when you're fishing, you know, for weight, things can change dramatically, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. I was in 54th place yesterday after 2 very low weight section days. However, yesterday I only caught 10 kilo, which is not a lot by the standards here. Obviously in the section I was in, it was good, but by catching 10 kilos, that actually propelled me up the leaderboard 26 places. So that's how tight it is, you know, that's how tight it is now. So I really need to get a weight here today, obviously 10 kilos plus whatever I can get, just to get me back into some sort of reasonable position. I've been told I think the frame might be about the top 7, something like that overall. Obviously I'm a long way off that, but there are 2 days of competition left, and there are some very poor areas. So if I can avoid those areas and catch fish on decent pegs, if I, you know, this is a good peg today, and if I get another one tomorrow, then, you know, who knows what could happen, you know. So today this is very, very different, and that is because I'm not going to go into too many basics and stuff, because we've gone through a lot over the last few days. We've actually got some flow on it. It's a little bit difficult to tell just looking at it at the moment, because there isn't any leaves or anything going past on the water surface to show you how quick it is moving. But you can see by my keep net, look at my keep net, that you can tell how tight that is. So that's showing you how it's actually flowing from left to right. So the key detail for today is I'm going to be using more river style feeders, all right, like this style feeder. Okay, perfect for rivers. I use them all the time, so I'm going to be using that style feeder today as opposed to some of the other cages and stuff, and that's because I want the bait to be emptying the feeder right on the bottom. All right, when it's flowing like this, I don't want too much bait coming off, because obviously that can draw fish downstream. And the other thing as well is I've got the rod in a very different position as well. Normally I would have it down and to my left on still waters, however it's flowing that way, so I always have the rod pointing downstream, and then it's raised slightly, and that's because that won't make too much of a difference on my short line because it's so deep just here. My short line is at 13 meters, but I have got a line at 35 meters, which is over there, so that will make a difference having the line off the water. It just means that I can get away with a 2.5 ounce tip, and that means there isn't too much bend in the tip, and I should be able to read bites okay. So it's going to be a very interesting match. I'm just about ready now. We've got a good half an hour now before the start, so I'm just going to check my hook lengths and stuff, make sure my bait's tip-top condition. I'm actually going to ball it in on that short line, on that 13 meter line. I'm going to put 5 balls of ground bait, plenty of hempen casters in there. That's the mix that's going in. Okay, same mix again, 2 parts of the So Natural black and 1 part of the So Natural skimmer, exactly the same mix that I've used all week, mixed with some molasses in the water as well. So I'm putting 5 balls in on that line, and then I'm going to start off at 35 meters and just fishing it. Just keep dropping that feeder in, fish for anything, and then hopefully a number of fish are going to rock up on that 30 meter line. That is where I've been told the bulk of the weight was caught on this peg yesterday, 30 meters, admittedly with a pole, but I'm going to fish it with a little open-ended feeder. So I'm very confident of getting some fish. I'm very confident that there's some fish there. I just need to be confident in my approach that it's going to work, and I'm going to capitalise. That's it, mate. That's it, lads. Time. Good luck, everybody. Fourth cast, that one. First bite. We're off the mark. Oh good, it's raining again. It's really, really slow. Really not what we expected. Hardly had a fish over that ground bait. Just a couple of ropes, that's all. The rest of my fish have come from just off the rod end. I just can't see where the weight's going to come from that I need today. Very disappointed at the moment. We're at the halfway stage and it's terrible. It's just really not what we expected. I'm just bitting and batting for odd fish. I can't put any numbers of fish together. I just get one and then maybe two and then nothing for ages. And the only place I can get a bite is literally off the rod end. And they are perch, and that is it. I've had a couple of roach on that 13 metre line, which I just can't believe. Maybe balling it in on that line was the wrong thing to do, but nobody's really catching except two down is Michael. He's been catching steady and he's literally fishing about 5 metres. So the only place I can catch is underneath my rod end, but it just doesn't feel like there's loads of fish there. I'm certainly not going to get the weight that I need doing this, but if that's all what's there, I've got to keep doing it. Won't be as bad if the odd one was much bigger, but not a very big stamp, unfortunately. But I'll keep going, see if it picks up, see if it gets stronger. If it doesn't look like that big weight is on the cards now. That one, there's what we want then. Look at that beauty. Beautiful big hybrid. That's encouraging. Yeah, it was, yeah. I thought it was going to be a big perch. But yeah, it was a hybrid, surprising. They've been all day. Ten minutes to go. I don't know where they've been all day, but just put a big worm on. Nailed it down on that feed what I put in. So, first time I've done that. So whether that's what I should have done, or whether it's just the time of day, I don't know. Yeah, it was, yeah. There you go. Quite enough for that then. Just missed it. That's it, lads. Time. Eh? That's it. Oh, 5. Stop on if you want. Well, that was incredibly disappointing. Can't trim it up. Not what I expected. Not many updates for you through the match, just basically because the majority of my fish have actually come at the end of my rod, which is like well, I bet it's not even 3 meters out from the jetty. And so when you're catching or getting bites as close as that, you really got to keep your eye on the rod and everything. And obviously you've seen what I've done. The key thing obviously was that I haven't fished a pole today. I've fished the feeder. Whether that's had an impact or not, I don't know. Lads to my left have fished the pole and they haven't had any mega weights, but they're not on an MPEG, so we'll never know if it would have been better with a pole or not. We don't know. And the other key thing is, obviously, you know, I fed quite positive at the start. There wasn't loads of bait in there, but it was positive. And obviously now I'm wondering if that was right or not, and I don't know. But on that 13-14 meter line where I fed heavy, I've literally only had about 5 roach that are literally an ounce all day until the last 10 minutes. Just out of desperation, I've gone back on that line with a worm on, a full worm, and I've had that big hybrid, and then I've had a little perch which a pike nearly took right in front of me. And that was really just casting it out, putting a worm on with obviously a bigger bait, and just putting the rod down. Now maybe that might have been a better way to approach that line today for bigger hybrids. I don't know, but I haven't had bites on there from maggots, casters or worms throughout the day, so maybe it was the time of day that got that fish. I don't know. So it sounds like 2 up to my left, Michael has caught steady throughout the day, so it sounds like he's done the best here, but I don't really know. It's the lad on my left, he says he's struggling for a kilo, so it's not fished great. But obviously with this being an MPEG and obviously 11 kilo off it yesterday, of course I had high expectations of this peg, and my approach, having fished it on Sunday. So that's what it is now. So it's another low weight day, unfortunately, regardless of whether I've done anything in this section. Whatever happens, I haven't got a big weight, so that's really disappointing. So I'm going to get some gear packed away. I haven't got far to travel because that's where I'm staying, so I'm going to get some gear packed away, and it'll be interesting to see what they have caught up there. Like I said, Michael has caught on the pole. He's on a short pole, just running it through, total opposite to obviously how we fish a feeder. So be interesting to see what he's got. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed on that, because this out of the whole week, this was the peg when I thought, right, yep, I'm definitely going to get some fish today, and it's just not happened. So gonna get some gear packed away, wait for the scales, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they've caught up to the left. Six kilo, 400. Well, that's a little bit more than what I thought. But like I say, it's so disappointing, when you see like 11 off it yesterday, and I'm obviously chasing weight. Once again, all I can hope is that the other people above me have suffered poor days, but that's what it is. Let's just watch the rest of the section weigh in just to see what they've got.
Oh, that was a bit more. 1 kilo 350.
This is Michael, who's been catching on the pole. No caster fish then, Michael?
And?
Caster?
Ah, many maggots.
Maggot?
Right in the eye.
Plenty of fish there.
3 kilo 700.
No, mainly on pole. I've had 1 hybrid and 1 big rock.
5 kilo 350.
Oh!
Hold on, mate. Hold on. Well, that's been enough to win the section, which is great. There has been a 5 kilo on the end peg, so yeah, won my section again, which is good. Not the mega weight I wanted, but like I said, once again, it's a weight competition. All I want now is, when I see the results, hopefully a lot of those people above me have really suffered some poor scores, so that I can just try and get a little bit further up that leaderboard. Well, I'm obviously hoping I'm going to be getting a flyer tomorrow where I can get a good weight, but at least I've had a day's fishing. It's been an interesting match. It's been an interesting peg, to be honest, but at least I've had a day's fishing, and there's very, very little travelling to be done today. So yeah, we've got what we've got fish cakes tonight, and we've got some lovely pasta as well. So That's what we're going to be having as soon as I pack my gear away and get some sleep and ready to go for final day of the event tomorrow. So I'll see you in the morning.